Hello, friends. I'm Meteorologist Zack Shields. Get ready. We're going to be in for a stormy night here in Central Texas. Getting a quick reminder that we're the heart of severe weather season. The last couple of days, most of the storms have been hanging out way out in West Texas along the dry line, which is a boundary that separates the muggy air coming in from the Gulf from the dry air coming in from the Rockies. And when those two different air masses meet, something's got to give. The air's got to lift. And lately, yes, we've had some storms along this boundary, but as they move away from this boundary, they fizzle out. This is not going to be the case tonight, because along that dry line, we're going to get some upper level support from this wave of lower pressure that's going to force the dry line closer to us, number one, and then also provide that extra lift so those storms can survive long enough to reach us. And the storms are going to come at us in waves. It looks like that first round is going to get here late afternoon, early evening, and then the second round will get here after midnight. And all the ingredients are coming together for some rain and thunderstorms. We have plenty of fuel, all that moisture. Just step outside, you can feel it. Then you have the triggering mechanism, the dry line. And then that wave of lower pressure is going to bring in enough wind shear and instability to support some severe weather. And our friends at the Storm Prediction Center are seeing the same thing. All of Central Texas at least under a slight risk for severe weather. That's a level 2 out of 5. Risk, okay? And then over the western hill country, including parts of San Saba and Mason counties, you're under enhanced risk, a level 3. We believe this evening that is when we could see most of the hailers showing up here in Central Texas. And the highest probability of large hail will be focused out across the hill country from Highway 281 corridor from Lampasas, Vernon, Marble Falls, Blanco, and then out across the hill country. A lower threat from Austin to San Marcos. Now, the damaging wind threat will include the I-35 corridor. We'll have the individual thunderstorms showing up this evening, and then a squall line, a line of powerful storms will survive long enough as they start their journey in West Texas and will move in overnight after midnight. And then as those storms start to run out of gas, they're going to produce some very strong winds from I-35 into the hill country. We could have wind gusts 50 to 70 miles per hour. The hail size, quarter to golf ball, that will do some damage. So it's going to be one of those nights, got to bring the car in the garage or put it under a carport. We'll have plenty of lightning. It's going to be a noisy night around here with all the storms. And then can't even rule out some isolated tornadoes. There's going to be just enough wind shear in the atmosphere to produce some rotating thunderstorms. And the high-res forecast models is hinting at that happening out across the hill country. This is 2 in the morning. So it's going to be overnight. So stay weather aware and pay close attention to the weather tonight. And then the rotation starts to fizzle out as those storms weaken as they get closer to the I-35 corridor. Let's time it out for you. This is the latest model run. By early to mid-afternoon, we're just dealing with some harmless on and off light rain. And then by this evening, we're starting to see the signs that the atmosphere is becoming more unstable as that wave of lower pressure gets closer to us, and we'll start to have isolated thunderstorms in here, some nasty storms possibly happening between 7 and 10 out in the hill country. When the HRRR model shows pinks and purples on the map, that's showing you a pretty good chance of large hail. That cluster of storms crossing Highway 281 corridor by 10 o'clock, still severe, and then crossing the I-35 corridor, still severe by midnight, and then pushing off to the east after midnight. But then right on the heels of this one, we have another one coming in 2 in the morning. And notice how future radar is indicating some bowing happening with some of these radar echoes. That would indicate some straight line wind damage. And then the storms start to shut down first thing tomorrow morning. The atmosphere will be worked over if it produces 2 rounds of storms tonight. And we'll have less rain in the area tomorrow during the day. Maybe some scattered harmless showers starting to refire late in the day. We have the severe weather threat, large hail, damaging winds, isolated tornadoes. And I haven't seen this in quite some time since we've been in drought mode for the last 2 years. But the Weather Prediction Center is thinking that we could have some localized flooding. There's red on the map here. That's a moderate risk of localized flooding, including us here in the Austin metro. After all the rains lately, a lot of the rivers in East Texas are at flood stage and are still dealing with river flood warnings. We only have a flash flood watch for now for parts of Lampasas, Bell, and Milam counties. That will go until 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. There's a lot more purple and reds on the future rain total map. It's trending wetter, where much of the area could get 1.5 to 2.5 inches. Some spots could get a little more than that, and we're gaining high confidence on this rainy, stormy night, and the rain gauge is getting a workout because all 4 computer weather models show over an inch of rain for much of central Texas. And some of these models don't really focus on the placement of the highest rain totals, just focus on that. Some of these models are showing 2 to 4 inches of rain in some locations, and that's why we're under that moderate risk for some localized flooding overnight. So a perfect day and night to download our free Fox 7 weather app to get the latest weather alerts, and make sure you turn on the notifications so that phone can wake you up in the middle of the night to let you know what kind of bad weather is heading your way. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meteorologist Zack Shields. Stay weather aware.